All right, 1, 2, 3 in the place to be. Should play opponents from the bottom of the map.
On the bottom of the map,
It's your dog Isreal.
Ike Hayes in the place to be.
And we in for another, we about to get down and dirty. We all on the Colorado Prime train. And we about to jump right into it. There was a big, comeback from Stanford. Colorado up 29-0. We thinking that they're putting it together. Prime is looking good. Shador is looking good. Travis Hunter is back out there. And biggest comeback in Stanford history, or is this the biggest debacle in Colorado history?
I don't want to call it the biggest debacle in Colorado history. At the end of the day, all these little teams out here, they don't come out here and give Colorado their best shot, right? Like that Stanford little Super Bowl right there. Them boys ain't doing nothing with their season. They probably ain't even going to no bowl game. So you know what I'm saying? I look at it like, look, they never play that well. This is just one of those things to where I think on Prime's end, okay, yes, a blown 29-0 lead. You okay, that's unacceptable. But I think that, once again, we're still talking about one season in where them boys went 1-11. 1-11 is your biggest debacle in history. Okay, obscurity, never going to Neverland and never having, you know what I'm saying, ESPN or game, they come out to your school. So at the end of the day, them boys, you know what I'm saying, they're still on the up. But, things happen. Now, yes, Stanford receiver, you know what I'm saying, Travis Hunter, like, okay, he got exposed a little bit. But it's just one of them things where, you know what, you're going to have a really, really bad game. Out of all the games they played, this was a really, really bad game. Every other game, they either got beat soundly or they fell up short, but they were competitive. This is the first time they wasn't competitive. These are still 18 to 24-year-olds we're really talking about now. So I just feel like, look, man, it's bad. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, they needed that win. Because I've been looking at the rest of their schedule and I'm like, look, boy, them boys about to have a little bit of a murderer's row. Like they got to play USC. They got to play, you know what I'm saying, Arizona, which Arizona is playing good right now. I think they still got to play Washington.
So
Like,
let's let's, let's look at their schedule. Call them out. Call them like you see them. Next game, they got UCLA.
UCLA, I think that they can be in that game. Did UCLA win or did they lose
They
last
lost.
game? They lost. So who? To Washington State, right?
They
Oregon State.
lost. Yeah, they lost to Oregon State.
Yeah. And I knew that was going to happen. So I feel like UCLA is still a little good team, but I feel like that's a game that they could be in. It's not a guaranteed victory, but they can be competitive. They can be competitive in that game.
Next game is Oregon State, and Oregon State playing good football right now.
They're not going to be Oregon State because Oregon State is good on both sides of the ball. Oregon State got beat by a good Washington State team. A team that's, like I said, the boys real good. So, they're not going to beat Oregon State. Oregon State has a good defense and they got a good offense. So, you know what? I think they can put up some points, so they're not going to get shut out. But I don't think they're going to win that game.
Then they got your homeboy Jed Fish out there in Arizona, who just put the beat down, hands, foots, elbows, knees, all up in Washington State. Put the beat down on them boys.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that because Washington State were pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Washington State, like I said, they beat Oregon State. That's their only little loss. So I'm like, okay. So if what's the name playing? If Arizona playing like that, then Arizona been good all season, and they play, embarrass you at your birthday party type of football. So I'm like, look, you're probably not gonna win that game. You can be competitive against Arizona because Arizona plays everybody good, but I don't know if that's a win. That was the other win that I was kind of thinking that they could have, but I'm like, damn, Arizona be playing. Arizona, by the way, too, be covering spreads. They be killing spreads. Like, they're a really, really, really good team. So, I don't know about that one. I don't think that's a win either.
Then after that, they got Washington State, who, even though coming off of a loss, they're a dangerous team, explosive offense,
That's their
great
first
quarterback.
loss. That was their first loss, too. I believe they was undefeated. So, you know what I'm saying? And you got to think, too, once these teams know they're playing Colorado, they're going to be playing like it's the playoffs. They're going to play their best football because they're going to want to see embarrass Dion. So I don't think that's a win. I think that's a loss.
And then the anomaly of the whole Pac-12, even though it's not going to be the Pac-12 anymore, Pac-12 is known for their offenses and no defense. You got the one team that's complete opposite in Utah. They can't score, but you ain't scoring on them.
Only reason I think this is a loss is because Utah, that team, don't nobody want to play. These boys is trying to hold the ball. They're not trying to let you score. I do think you can score on them. I just know that you can't stop them. The thing about Utah, if I think if out of all the games that we're really talking about, Prime could really have a little surprise right here just because Utah don't got no offense. But against Colorado, you're going to have an offense. You're going to be able to score. So it's just going to be a matter of if Prime can put up points against them, I think he can sneak a victory in Utah. If he beats Utah, that'll be a marquee victory right there. That'll be like TCU. But I just feel like if they put up points and they can do that, then okay. That's still not a guaranteed win, and it's mostly going to be a loss.
So out of the next 5 games, you're telling me Prime, you're telling me they finna go on a 6 game losing streak.
The best I can see is 2 games. Two for he got 6 more games. What games are we missing?
Well, he has. Well, I said he's gonna go on a 6 game losing streak because they just lost to Stanford. So they got
Oh, okay.
UCLA.
The best scenario is 2 or 5. If he go 2 or 5, that's a win, and then they're both eligible. And that's really the key here, right? Because they got 3 wins. They got 3 or 4 wins. What, they got 3 wins?
They have 4 wins. They're 4 and 3.
4 wins.
They're 4 and 3 right now.
If he would have won against Stanford, they would be bowl eligible and he'll be good. It's going to be hard to get one victory out these next teams. So he got to win one. And you know what? Unlike garbage ass Mario Cristobal, I'm riding. I'm going to believe in them boys. They're going to get me one victory, but it's going to come against Arizona or Utah. Those other teams, I just don't know. But once again, one thing about Prime and Shedeur is that I am not going to doubt them like that. I think they very well could win 3 or 4, but it's just looking tough. I feel like this is going to be their toughest stretch yet. Stanford was a gimme game.
The Stanford game they should have won. Looking at the stats, they were up 29-0. He talked about it after halftime. They came out complacent. Stanford's wide receiver Elwick Ayomanor had 294 yards, 13 receptions. That's just, and Travis Hunter was basically exclusively on him the whole entire game. That's unacceptable. You don't let one receiver get almost 300 yards on you. One receiver,
That's
not
crazy.
the team, one receiver. But I do think because of being somewhat embarrassed, having power on your face, that they're going to come out against UCLA. I think they're going to beat UCLA. UCLA, they have young team, young quarterback. They still have what's the coach out there? Your boy,
Chip
yeah, Chip.
Kelly.
So they're going to be offense heavy. The game against Oregon State, I think Oregon State had 2 pick sixes. So you can't really trust their quarterback out there. I do think Colorado comes back with a win. I do think out of these last 5 games, they win 3 out of them. And end up going. If they end up going 7-6, because they're 4-3 right now. If they win 3 of the next 5, and they go 7-5, something like, if they end up with 7 to 8 wins, I think that's a big plus for Prime. Because they're going to end up putting them in a bowl game to where they play a team that people want to see them play. They're not going to put them, even though their record's saying they shouldn't be in a better bowl, but they'll probably be in a decent bowl, which just bows better for recruiting it next season.
I gotta correct you on UCLA. UCLA right now, their strength is their defense. We know Chip Kelly is known for his offenses, but they're a running defensive team. They got a freshman quarterback that really freezes up in big games. I really got to go back and watch the tape of the last little game, but no, them boys be freezing up and they try to run. And like I said, they're defense heavy. Like that's their strength right now. Like they don't have, a prolific offense. So that's crazy. And you know what? If the man go 5-7, he goes 6-6. You won one goddamn. I think even if Nick Saban was on that roster, old school Nick Saban, old school Dabo, they're not getting more than those wins because they're not going to hit the transfer portal like that. They're going to try to build in-house. I think that any other coach has a more ugly season than him. I think that You have to be like a little new age coach that believes in the transfer, and then you have to be able to convince your Travis Hunters, and none of them have a son like Shador anyway. So it's like, okay, now you got to use a quarterback from last year. I think they have worse seasons. I think the job that he's doing out there, no one else could do. No one else could do, and they'd be scared. They'd be bitch made. They would be scared to take it because they'd be like, "Nah, you're not gonna make me look bad." So I just feel like, look, this man is doing something that couldn't be done, and I think we don't. I just don't want his wins or his losses to overshadow that. Once he won them 3 games, it was already a win. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think that, being a fan of his, because most of us we ain't never been no damn Colorado fans, but we Prime fans. You feel me? So we gonna
Prime
follow
fan.
Prime. And if we don't get Prime lead, we gonna go there. So we ride in this train because he gives us hope. We know that he can recruit, and we know he's a competent coach. Unlike certain other people that we know that don't give a good goddamn and ain't never gonna get better. So nah, man, Prime, like you said, I think he can get 3. I really think that he's gonna be competitive in all of them. But I'm just like, boy, it's this stretch of the season right here. This
I,
this is this is gonna decide everything.
I think they need some of these losses. They need some of these bumps and bruises. Like you said, the team has to get ready to be in the spotlight. They're 1-11. They weren't on TV at all last year. So get ready to be in the spotlight. Get ready to get every team's best shot. And just be ready to like go through all the challenges that a season can present. So I think this is all good for your first year. Because even at Jackson, when he was at Jackson State, his first year, he didn't run the table. It took him to but third year he had everything in place. Everything in
Straight
place.
up,
Them boys was putting hands and foots in everybody.
straight up. And then as soon as he left, back to ass whooping time.
Yeah. Back to ass whooping. But we still rooting for Prime. I'm still rooting for
No,
Shador.
no, no. Prime is our surrogate team. That's who we riding with. I know you gonna stay loyal, but I've already told you, like, I'm off of Miami. All I got is I'm already on a fire crystal ball campaign now. Like, I want to get me a crystal ball face mask. So Prime is the man. And Prime, we trust. Straight up.
I mean, it can't be off Miami. We got down in Miami riding donks. Got the teal blue
I know,
donk.
but I can't support crystal ball, bro, and I can't support foolishness, bro, and delusions of grandeur. Boy, this boy got people. We need to bench TBD. Are you smoking crack? Like, come on, man. Nah, y'all don't want to talk about what the elephant in. I appreciate a competent, eloquent, well-spoken, hustling coach who knows what he's doing. And so, no, I'm Prime. Okay, I'm all for Prime. That's it.
Well, we giving you that real spill. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, share, tell your aunties, tell your homeboys on the corner, tell your friends to tell a friend to tell a friend. You can
That
holler
is
at
them
your
again.
play partners. Yeah. But it's the bottom of the map. And
Bottom of the
until
map.
next time, we gone.
We go.